All right, we are live, and the New York Mets decided to remind us why we watch these goddamn stupid baseball games, because it's been a pretty good week in Mets land outside of whenever our lefty starters are on the bump for the game, because it's become a double whammy every single time. We have David Peterson, the Mania. What's like the worst tag? They're like the Bushwhackers. I don't even know what to call them. They're a goddamn disaster.
They are the opposite of a 1-2 punch. They're like a 0-1 punch.
Exactly. 0-1. Perfect way to put it. But it's a beautiful thing where you got to cash in some victories. And if you're looking to cash in, you can go on the Jackpocket app. Ordering tickets has never been easier thanks to our partners at Jackpocket. Whether you like to order Powerball, Mega Millions, scratch off tickets, you can order them all on the Jackpocket lottery app.
I'm going to do it right now.
Do it. Kevin's going to do it during the read. Isn't that a beautiful thing right there? That's just how you know how easy and great it is. And Jackpocket makes ordering tickets quick, simple, and secure.
How about this? This is a new one. Remember, Clem, you'll remember $1,000 a week for life? Remember that was a big one that came out?
Kev, I still get the tingly feeling when I see those tickets.
I know. There's times where I was like, I want the cash, the $1,000 a week before I want like the big jackpot. Now they got $1 million a year for life. Oh, that's sick.
Wow. That was a live reaction to that thing right there.
That one's cool. They call it Millionaire for Life. That's dope.
Give the person, the marketing guy who came up with that, a raise, a promotion, all the above. And here's the best part. If you're new to Jackpocket, they've got a special offer just for you baseball fans. Download the Jackpocket app, sign up using code LGM, and new customers who deposit $5 will get $10 in lottery credits instantly. That's right. Get $10 in credits instantly when you deposit $5 on Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app, and our beautiful presenting sponsor who we love oh so much, Cake Punch Jackpocket at the parade in November. I'm going to say it's going to be a November parade this year. You never know, October, November. It's an earlier season. I don't know how that plays out, but this ain't going to be easy. It's going to be 7 games, but we will have our we'll be having our Cake Punch and hopefully Millionaire for Life ticket wins. But boys, we're back. And just looking at the guys here, everyone's a little more pep in their step despite all those 10 o'clock games. We're feeling pretty good, boys. And we only lost a generational player to the IL for a couple weeks. So we're doing pretty good.
Dude, if baseball isn't the stupidest thing in the world, that like Juan Soto, who has been red hot, goes down, and then we start to win a couple games. It's just like, what's the fucking point of even trying to build a team and plan this stuff if you get better when good players disappear? It's just so stupid.
Dumbest sport in the world. Kyle, I feel like in the end, it's a win. 2 to 3 weeks. It's cold out anyway. Papa Clem was yelling at the Mets trainers for even him being out there. I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing right now?
Can we just cut to the DH years, please? Let's just do it. Do it now.
I don't think anybody is looking at him going to the IL as a bad thing. Like, sit your ass down. It's April. We're playing in 30-degree weather where we have to move the start times of the games. Like, do me a favor and you could just show up in June and mash and get us through the most important month of the year for Mets fans.
You know what's funny is, like, of course, when it comes down to October and you miss by 1 game, you're like, every game matters. It's the same. But then when you're faced with something like this in like March and April, you're like, fuck it. Just stop. Just shut it down. You know what I mean? It's like,
it helps that Mendoza is pushing every dumb button and somehow paying off. Like, none of his moves make sense, and we're going to get to it, but like, so far, so good. Glasses Mendoza, nose ball.
He didn't have the glasses on yesterday, so that's why they lost.
They lost.
Put them on, bro. Put them on.
4-0 Glasses Mendoza. I wear glasses for 2 reasons. 1, to look less stupid, and 2, to hide the bags under my eyes. So if Mendoza's doing that, and fucking along the way, he's, what did they say? Eating onions and spotting dimes, like pinch hitting your backup catcher for an actual player. And it's just cashing in like a Jackpocket win.
I mean, not only that, it's like it wasn't Jared Young's not Babe Ruth, but he was like 3 for 3 or 2 for 2, whatever it was that game. And I mean, I texted the group like, this better work out. And then it did. And I'm like, brilliant. That's my guy. That's Mendy. Let's go Mendy. Like, that's baseball, Susan. Like a objectively terrible idea. And it works out. And by the way, Luis Torrens, the most like underappreciated Met of all time. Yep. And maybe not. Maybe actually, I think a lot of people love him. So maybe he's properly appreciated. I don't think I've ever, like, maybe Pudge Rodriguez. I don't think I've ever seen someone else gun runners down like Luis Torrens. And if he's gonna like be clutch and get some hits and back up Alvarez, and if Alvarez is finally coming around, that is a 1-2 punch behind the plate that is very likable, like really enjoyable, very effective. If those
I will forever bring this up whenever he's mentioned. The Rule 5 pick draft absolutely ruined any type of development he was supposed to have. He had to jump from like single A to Major League Baseball. Like there was nothing in between. So like he was supposedly going to be like the prospect, but it was like going to the deep end, see you later. And now like what's he, like 26? Now it just seems to be clicking. So it's like he's a solid backup. Who knows? He could even be like, I don't know, DH type of position.
Well,
like I don't know.
Kind of did the same thing with Alvarez by bringing him up right away too. So you have two guys who had a lot of talent and promise. And if they're gonna like push each other and back each other up, and I mean, I think Alvarez is the clear, guy. But if Torrens has that in him too, like
like he could DH, and you have, Torrens is better behind the dish. Like who knows?
Torrens turns 30 on May 2nd. He's been in the majors since he was 2017, his age 21 season.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So like almost a decade in the majors.
Crazy,
that's nuts. Wow, that's a great tale. Not for him, but for everybody. It's interesting.
I mean, if you think about it too. Alvarez obviously infamously came up during that 22. I don't even want to call it collapse. The Braves catching us, just the chaos of 22, which at this point it's 5 seasons ago. Alvarez has been in our
time
life
is flying as we get older, man.
I can't. That season feels. It's like it feels like the wound is still fresh, but it's also like Jake Scherzer. We're both on that team. Bassett was on that team. It feels like a lifetime ago as well.
Yeah.
The only one left from that team, I think, is Lindor and Peterson.
Dude,
I'd have to think like those are the only two guys, right?
We were watching
and Alvarez.
We were watching
Alvarez, Beatty, and Vientos
in the Hoboken gambling game.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say the Mets had just won the only game of the playoffs, and then I come out to find my car towed to New Jersey. So me and Kevin at like 2:00 in the morning are driving for a fucking bag.
I forgot about that.
I was like, Jesus Christ! Thank God they won.
That's crazy.
We were at a low point. I miss my infamous what's it called too? Hall Notes. And like look who our enemy is. It was us against Frank the Tank, and now Frank the Tank is lighter than anyone on this podcast right now. He's the fittest man out of the podcast.
I saw Tank yesterday in the office, and I was like, it's not shocking anymore because he's just been losing weight. But I was like, you're just like a regular sized person now. Yeah. Like it's crazy the transformation he's had. Not much development in like the mental and emotional aspect. He's still a fucking lunatic, but physically doing great.
Can't blame the LBs for the emotion. There's something deeper.
Right.
Listen, he's a Mets fan too. Like we'll call it what it is. He's a Mets fan and a Dolphins fan. He has a lot of sports scars buried there. But I was wondering, does the Tank ever get dropped? Is he ever like it's almost like he's like damn near not even like he's not even like a mini SUV anymore. It's like damn near a sedan. He's getting close
Frank
to sedan. Frank the sedan.
Now he's got Frankie Fitness. Now he's doing lifting. It's not just walking.
Oh,
now that he's on the Schwarzenegger program. So it's like he's going full-fledged. He might just end up being a fitness influencer 3 years from now.
What I've noticed about Frank in the DK betting group where you can see like where like the Barcelona people like have their bets in, Frank has been live betting against the Mets money line the past during that streak. He's like, "Yep, here comes the blow. Here comes the blown save. Here comes the blown lead." I'm like, "Why is even Giants money line right now?"
I'll tell you what I'm about to do is I'm going to bet against David Peterson for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm proposing this one I'm not even proposing. Fuck you guys. I'm telling you. I've retired from David Peterson.
I'm out.
And you know what? Honestly, it's only like 2 innings. So I know that they've lost. And then it's not over in 2 innings. To his credit, he does give us like 5. So he at least keeps the bullpen fresh, which then goes to Manaya.
I guess, but it's like he gives you
6 runs
over 5 innings.
Yeah. It's like you don't have to
use your bullpen, but it's not a loss. So dude, I don't know how to like come to grips with that, but I've just come to grips. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna like get up or down. Again, a 4 a.m. David Peterson start much easier to stomach than a 10 p.m. When you're up, you're like, all right, we're in, and then you're like, why the fuck am I up? And I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep for another like hour and a half. That's what the Giants game was like. He's just I call him BPDP. He's just batting practice.
I don't know what's worse, man. Like my biggest pet peeve in the world is pitchers who walk the ballpark, especially leadoff walks and all that sort of shit. But he is just batting practice. It's just hit after hit after hit after hit. It's like that's almost more unwatchable. I really was wrong on him because I was like, I think he just ran out of gas. And I think if he can figure out how to elongate his season, we'll be good. And even if he can't, for at least the first half, we'll be good. I mean,
I think they're just going to flip-flop him and Manaea back. It's just going to be ongoing all season long.
Well, I'm done with both of them. Yeah. I don't know, man. Manaea throwing like 46 miles an hour and Peterson just giving up hits left and right. That's going to be – I mean, Clem, we were talking about this the other day. When you list out all of the arms that Stearns put together, there's like 10 of them to fill out your rotation and then like some middle relief. And I was thinking like, that's got to be enough. That's got to be enough guys to avoid injury and regression and freak bad seasons. But it's like, boom, right away, 2 are gone in my mind. Like, I don't think we can count on Manaea. I don't even think we can pitch Peterson again. So it's like that goes from 10 to 8 or 8 to 6 or whatever it was. It happens quick. You can go from a surplus to a scarcity real fast.
Yeah, especially because, again, it's early. Christian Scott, I looked up his numbers immediately. I saw 16.2 ERA. Again, in 1 start, 3 1/3 innings.
Long as been roughed up. It's one injured. It's been like the solid guy, but he's been shooting up the system, but he still seems a bit far away. The other thing on Peterson, after that complete game shutout last year and 17 starts, his ERA since is 5.76. And then the 3 starts this year, it's like it's a 20-start sample size of just being batting practice.
And he also gives me a lot of like Steven Matz vibes where like
I all day
You've been saying that his whole career.
I was like that, I had the thought. I go, I haven't thought of Steven Matz in years. And it looks exactly like that. He looks like Sven Metz. Remember, he kept losing letters after every start. He's still in the league. He's 2-0, Kevin. He plays for the Rays.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, like he was a guy who would be lights out, and then like one bad call from the umpire, one walk, one seeing eye single, infield single, whatever, and the wheels come off. That is DP, man.
It's every Mets lefty gets developed. John Neese, Steven Matz, David Peterson. They're all the same pitcher at this point.
Yeah.
It's
the nose, the nose, man. Oh my God. Do you remember Neese in the NLCS? I remember being like, John Neese sucks, and he was coming in the game or starting the game, whatever it was.
He was hanging out with Anthony Rizzo with like the game on the line pretty much.
And I was like, we are fucked. And he was lights out. I remember Dave being like, this guy's amazing. What are you talking about? I was like, it was him and Daniel Murphy. I was like, these guys suck. And they went and touched. I was like, I swear to God, this is not normal.
Phil, I saw someone saying like Peterson by the way, David Peterson, when you look back, you look like Mets that made an all-star team. David Peterson feels like the biggest outlier you could like read on that list outside of like R.A. Dickey, right?
Yeah.
I saw someone say, like, was Peterson super fortuitous in terms of his luck?
Yes, he was very quote-unquote lucky, but that's what happens when you're a contact pitcher. Like, the ball just finds gloves. The balls ain't finding gloves now, the last 20 starts.
This is not like you're not finding gloves. This is like no gloves can stop this. These balls are smoked all over the place.
First half last year, we were all screaming from the rooftop that we need to extend him now before he gets.
Yes, I remember that. That's why you always have to be careful with talking extensions because you have to be careful. It has to be the right guy.
Same thing with Peralta, by the way, who's like, he hasn't been bad by any means, but there was a time where I was like, give him like, hundreds of millions of dollars right now. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Just let it play out. Like, let him hit free agency. If we want to pay him, we'll pay him.
It's tough too with like a pitcher because all it takes is one game of like, you're out for a year and a half. So you really can't mess around with it. Peterson this is like the third step in regression though, because originally he wasn't pitching well because he couldn't find the strike zone and his mechanics sucked. Now he can find the strike zone. He's just finding every single barrel in the strike zone. So I don't know. There's no fix to that. Like your stuff just needs to be better.
It's like you're not good.
That's the problem.
Yeah. The hard hit rate. The one thing's from these starts, he hasn't given up a home run. It's all like singles, doubles, walks. Like,
but you're
keeping the ball in the park. It's even more annoying.
Yeah, well, let it warm up a little bit, and
with that too.
Well, the funny thing is, like, we didn't have gloves by like September or August. So even if he had gloves, remember, like Peterson had that one where it was like a diving play, like Beatty hit it, Lindor caught it, threw it to first, and now it's completely reversed on him. And it's not finding gloves; it's finding blades of grass, like patches of when they hit the ball. There's like not even a fielder in sight. You're like, oh boy, this is a triple.
Hit them where they ain't there, man. Yeah. Nobody's even close.
It's terrifying. And then I want to pass this because again, they're a tag team at this point. I put this out there during the end of the Giants game. Nickname for Sean Manaea. He's the DeLorean. He hits 88 miles per hour, and then you're going to see some serious shit. And by shit, I mean bad shit. So he hits 88 if we're lucky. I was like, he was hitting 93 that year in 24 when he was,
He's never got the surgery to get the bone chips out or something. Like, I forgot what it was. What, loose body in his elbow?
Yeah. He didn't get it, though, right?
He didn't get it because they said it wasn't necessary. Now, if you're watching, it's like, what should have fucking got it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's what comes to my head every single time, Phil. It's like, do the loose bodies have fixed it? Is he not getting the sail angle? Is he just old and washed? And was probably
more that. I mean, is it the most misleading 3 ERA in 3 appearances?
I was just gonna say that. He's only pitched 9 innings, so if it was a complete game, it'd be a great start. But other than that, it's like, Jesus Christ, you're just mop-up duty every night.
And to credit, it's like I do appreciate a mop up like that, where it's like, okay, you know what, we're not burning any of the other relievers. At least he is eating it. Yeah. But
it's so weird. Like when it's expected batting average and OPS and all that stuff for hitters, like everybody leans so heavily on it. But it's like Brazaban has a 0 ERA, or he has like a whatever it is now, a point whatever. Inherited runner scoring doesn't paint the right picture when it comes to that sort of thing. And it's like Peralta has to hate that every time he gets pulled from the game, it's Brazaban coming in because he's like, just let me finish the inning. Like, I can do exactly what he's about.
I'll wear it one way or the other.
Yeah.
Peralta, it's like, if you're going tools, like obviously he's not a long guy, right? He'll go the 5 innings, Freddie, whatever you want to say. It's like, I feel like one of his tools is like his personality. And that is an important thing, as we've learned, especially in baseball. And I think this team did have some like kind of like bummers in the locker room. I do think that's good. Maybe he needs to warm up a little. He also he was throwing some fucking junk, man. He had some nice pitches. It just, and then you miss out on the ABS call with Brazaban, and then they get the hit, and then that's kind of how it blows up in his
also,
face.
though, if your value is going to be your personality, we gotta use it. Like, you gotta throw the parties, you gotta be the guy. Let's get some of that going. It's early and you gotta feel things out, but I don't think I've heard much on that front. So if that's a big part of your clubhouse allure is part of it, like, let's go.
AJ did say, he goes, why isn't he smiling like he did in the videos? Because I showed him the videos of him. So he just thinks Freddie's the happiest guy in the world. But again, I'm sure Freddie, like, hey, listen, it's not just the Dominican players. The rest of us, it's cold outside. It ain't. I wouldn't be smiling if I was at Citi Field. And that's why they're giving away free tickets. And for the people that are actually going to the games and not just pocketing them to either, I guess, I don't know if you could even have resold. I imagine you're New Yorkers. A lot of them tried to resell, and then either they resold or they didn't. But we got the rest of Uncle Stevie.
Here's the thing on that. That seems shitty, and Steve is upset. I get it. But that is like the nature of giving something away for free.
Yep.
That's like why people in business are always like, you got to charge something, even a little bit, because then there, at least mentally, is like some skin in the game. So like that is shitty. I'm sure there was a bunch of other fans who were just like pure baseball fans who would have gone. But I think it's through the lens of like fandom, as opposed to just like when people get shit for free, no matter what it is, free trial, free sample. If they don't use it, they're like, I didn't, I have no reason, I have no incentive to. So it's kind of like he's painting the fan base in a way with that, when that's just more of like a business concept, I think. And that's another, I know we were, the group chat was talking about Carton's video, like screaming about it. And he was definitely doing his like kind of shock jock thing. But I've been saying it for years, man. Like, there's just no good from social media. There's never been a moment other than a sliver of that was entertaining. Like, hey, we joke about it. That's our king. There's no actual benefit ever from tweeting, or specifically tweeting. We go on Instagram, whatever. But the tweets bring nothing but problems. And for the whole world, by the way. Like, none of us should be on there. But definitely not him.
There's a reason why The Social Network is getting a sequel this year called The Social Reckoning. And it's because of all the bad stuff that has happened ever since, that and all the other social medias have.
But I mean, do you guys have a problem with like people signing up for it and then not going? It's shitty, but it's just like,
I personally, I don't have a problem with like the not going to the game because you didn't want to. I just think if you get those tickets, you should get rid of it. Like, I could have gotten the tickets. I saw the tweet as soon as it went live, and I was like, do I want to drive down? It's a day game. I still have work here. I'll have to like figure out get the kids done, pay $50 for parking, probably going to spend another 50 to 100 in the ballpark. And I was like, no, like just save it for the other person to go. Yes. Like, I can get concert tickets, right? I got Bruno Mars tickets for the summer.
I could then just sell them to people and make, 3x on what I paid, or just don't be a shitty person. And either I'll either get the tickets and go myself, or just don't buy the tickets. And that's just my like view on life. But again, as you can see on social media, there's not everyone kind of is kumbaya and pay it forward and all that kind of stuff. It's dog eat dog. I want to survive. I want to do this.
I don't like it. I'm just saying, like, that will probably happen every single time you do this from now.
In every single city, and every single fan base.
Yeah. Right. Just give it to, like, how many tickets was it? Like 100 or something? It was small, right?
I don't even know if the resale value was there. I'm sure they were like nosebleed tickets.
Yeah,
I didn't even click on the link, but it's like it's twofold. If they had done it the day of and it was a night game, then you're probably getting people who are like, oh, I'm gonna go and I know the weather and like it's cold or whatever. People got them the day before. They woke up the next day and they were like, fuck that. I'm not going to a 4 o'clock game and freezing my ass off. Like, but they can't do it the day of. If it's a 4 o'clock game, then nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to take the tickets. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
They should just give, whatever the size was, give it to like the Boys and Girls Club. And then it's like, you're guaranteed that those will
Cats Hospital, where we do the donations already anyway. Like, give it to the families for something for them to do for the day.
Yes.
Or first responders. There's a million options. Just don't give it to Mets fans for free, because they'll just take it and be like, eh.
And it's not just Mets, like Clem just said. It's every fan. It's every fan.
Absolutely.
It's go retro with it. Go, hey, you show up to the ballpark, go to Will Call. We're giving away 4 free tickets. So your ass got to be at the stadium to get the tickets. Yeah. You can't these cannot be digitally in a wallet, so you can't send them and sell them. You got to go the old-fashioned way. And that's a good way to get around that.
It is a cool concept from a PR point of view of like the Mets give away some tickets. Like, but if you just got to tweak it to make it work, I think that's a good way to do it. Is like you can get it once you're here. And if nobody shows up for that, then like whatever,
Not to go off on a tangent, did you see the Dodgers season ticket holder who has a flip phone and they're like, no, we don't do paper tickets anymore. He's been a season holder for like 40, 50 years. And they're like, nah, fuck you. You got to get a new phone. He's like, what? I have a flip phone. I don't even know how that works. And then he goes to the stadium and they print out the day of tickets if you buy them in the window, but they won't print his tickets.
That's fucked up.
That's worse.
Yeah.
That's a team that doesn't value their fans. Mets, we do.
Yeah, we're trying.
We have old man. That's what I say too, though. Like, listen, you're like a billion-year season ticket holder. Here's like an iPod, the newest iPod Touch. Connect to Wi-Fi, and literally the only app on your phone is the MLB tickets app, ballpark, and then you can get in. Like at some point, you gotta fucking just evolve a little bit. Just meet us.
He's like the last man standing, though. He's like the guy who won't sell his house to the developer, and he just like lives in the
chaos. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
guy from Up.
If you deny like a 50-year season ticket guy, you don't value your fans. But it's the Mets fans who don't value the team.
Yeah,
we're reversed.
So yeah, the ticket. I also thought the ticket thing was a cool idea. It sucks if like you paid for the tickets, or say you were getting into town at like 3 o'clock, so you could only hit that game. I'm sure there were a very small fraction of people that really got fucked by it for whatever reason, because they can't hit a 4 o'clock game. But I do think it was like an awesome gesture. And I think you got vouchers if you paid for the tickets, right? So you can go to another future game, because you can't just change it. But I said to Phil, even with like, especially the game yesterday, the Peterson game, but even the Mauricio game, I'm sure those people were happy they were there and saw a walk-off, but I'm sure they're like, I'm happy I did this, and it ended at 6:30 instead of at 9:30, because it got fucking cold.
Or the people yesterday that were there for David Peterson in the second inning probably started heading home, maybe.
Yeah, bro, exactly. I don't know. I can't believe anybody goes to a baseball game before like May 25th. It's crazy. It's crazy. Games don't mean anything. The weather sucks. Everybody's like slow start. God bless you.
And yeah, we're talking like our best players. It's like Lindor's cold, Soto's cold. Yeah. Soto's actually wasn't cold. He was the one guy who wasn't. I guess we'll bring him up just because he came up earlier in the episode. Cross town, still an angry crew over there, boys. Juan Soto has played for 4 teams in his career. He's played for the Washington Nationals, the San Diego Padres, the New York Yankees, and the New York Mets. Played the least with the New York Yankees.
I was going to say, he's already eclipsed his Yankees career, basically, with the Mets. It's getting silly, man.
And only one fan base out of those 4 fan bases and like the other 26 fan bases chant fuck Juan Soto during a game. And it's a handful of people. It's this and that. Well, I mean, I can see the social media posts too. It's more than just those people who have feelings still about it. Boys, they really don't like our little boy John, huh? What did he do to them?
John Baseball. What's the problem? He's just Johnny Baseball. that's. I mean, this transition has been happening for quite some time over the last like decade or two. This is little brother stuff. This is what Yankees fans used to make fun of us for, and the stuff we used to do, and it's
Rightfully.
Yep, rightfully so. And I didn't like it when our fans did it, and then there were times where I was also like, I love a good fuck, Yankees suck chant when you're walking out of walking down the spiral after you beat the Marlins. Like, there's a part of me that likes that. Like, fuck it, I don't care. But I know how much it eats at them because they're not supposed to do that stuff. We were supposed to do that. Like, we were the little brother. Them acting like that has got to eat up the real Yankee fans who are from a generation ago, who are just like, what are we doing? Like, if the Hubs and the Tommies of the world do that, I kind of expect it at this point. It's the OGs that have got to be dying over this sort of behavior, because it's like, this guy had a cup of coffee. It's everything that wasn't Yankees. He didn't stay. They didn't pay. He didn't care about the pinstripes in the Bronx. Now their fans are doing the rent-free stuff. Like, it's Mets behavior to a T going on in the Bronx.
Phil, as our resident troll, how does this all make you feel seeing it play out right now?
It's just very sad to see. Like you said, it's stuff that Mets fans would do, and Yankees fans, they should be above it. But they were also chanting "fuck Altuve" in games that didn't include the Astros for several fucking years. They've been doing this longer. They just added a new player to the list.
Yep.
Also, like, I hate when Knicks fans do like "fuck Trae Young," like, still, like, after.
Oh, that's the worst way. Go, Joe.
He's like, Trae Young's also in like fucking Washington now. Like, you can retire that.
Yeah.
He's been fucked.
Trae Young. One of the worst things that New York fans have ever done was make Trae Young somehow equivalent to like Reggie Miller. That's insane.
For winning one playoff series versus Alfred Payton and like a bunch of bums. Like,
gross, dude.
I honestly don't know if that Knicks team would have been any of the Eastern Conference teams in the first round. And like I love that team. It was magic, but it was smoking. It was David Peterson. That team was David Peterson in basketball form. It's a lefty too at lettuce too, right? Julius Randle. Like, that was the epitome. That might have been when we started like loading up on the lefties. That was before obviously Brunson, but Barrett and Randall.
Yeah.
And it was some complete smoke and mirrors. It was Tibbs at his finest, just getting every inch of talent out of those guys. But yeah, we built up Trae Young. But it's also like, at the same point, like, it was like, fuck Trae Young, because it was more the media that tried to make him Reggie. They were just hammering that square peg in the round hole, because having New York having a villain like that is great for them. And then it's just like, no. And Reggie, absolute murderer for a couple of series against us. Fear the man. Have seen him do stuff that I've never seen since, or very rarely seen since. But then, like, all his stats too, when you look at it, you're like, oh, like, he kind of sucked he lost the 25-point comeback, game against them, and they lost the series that year. The Knicks beat them in 99 with the eligible 4-point play. Shout out to that ref who made the call. But it's like, it wasn't just this one-sided, like, Michael Jordan was a killer. He just put his foot on our throats. Even when I watched The Last Dance, I rewatched it recently. The way he talked about the Knicks, he dismisses us. He's like, no, they were not. Like, he respects
That's
the
worse.
He respects the Pacers, but he was like, no, like, we're never losing to the Knicks. Like, he completely dismissed us, and that's why I was like, yeah, man, he was just that fucking good. And Reggie wasn't that, and Trae Young sure as shit ain't that. So again, I kind of like the fuck Juan Soto chance. It's the rent free. We learned was real, right? That was a real post. The rent free.
Yes.
That to me is like almost as important as the value he brings on the field. Is that dynamic exists in New York baseball now? Like, that's a big deal.
Mets are the only professional team that he chose to play for. Like, he was drafted by the Nationals. He was traded to the Padres. He was traded to the Yankees. Like, he had one choice, and he chose not to play for you. So take that what it will be. It's going to be your nightmare forever, especially if you don't pull it off with Judge.
Right.
It is what it is. And forever it's going to be, they have to watch him in our jersey for the next, 12 years, 15 years, whatever it is.
God, he was off to such a hot start, too. I was like, this is going to be – as soon as the power started to round out, I was like – because, he said, like, Ohtani.
He's like Superman going to the yellow sun. He's like, I'm in the Dominican. I'm basking in this glory. Let me go play baseball. He loves it again. It was picture perfect.
Yeah, you got your Dominican Republic. You got your WBC Juan Soto there for a couple of days, Kyle. And then
I know.
Just,
he's doing handshakes with Benj, bringing him under his wing. He really did. He does feel like a different player this year than last year. Like, last year, he was just testing the waters. Now he's like, this is my team.
you start to settle in. And be
Snap,
like,
yeah,
we're gonna do
absolutely.
things my way. And
Yeah.
I mean, look at it just here with our group of idiots, right? Like the first year, someone's here, they're quiet, they're kind of doing their thing, and then everyone grows and grows, and now you're just like, oh, they're comfortable here. And
Right.
that's definitely been our beautiful baby boy, Juan. So get well soon, Juan. 2 to 3 weeks. Kev's boy, Ronnie Mauricio, getting the call up. That's when I was like, this ain't going to just be like the minimum here, because I think they would have brought up like another Jared Young Band-Aid. They're like, they're going to give Ronnie some time, and Glasses Mendoza called it perfect. Hey, we need to get a guy to, put contact in the ball. Ronnie Mauricio. That's the guy.
Mauricio. Bro, I missed that game. I got in the car, push the button, radio comes on as they give the call on the Ronnie Mauricio walk-off. I was like, it's like the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, I love nothing more than missing a day game or not realizing when a game's on, and then you check in and it's a win, and you're just like, I have none of the struggle. Let me just check the box score, see who did what, and I am going to bed happy. Oh, it was amazing. If only every time I could miss a game and tune in just for a Ronnie Mauricio walk-off, I'd be thrilled.
And the funny part about that is Seawald gave him the 0-2 fastball right down the middle. You could throw a slider in the fucking dirt. He's swinging through it.
Crazy.
Mauricio would have swung at 50 cents first pitch if he had thrown it.
Like, he's swinging everything. He's throwing it right down the middle.
Unbelievable. But shout out Ronnie. That was like one of our first moments. And comebacks. Hey, comebacks are fun. Turns out, 2025 sucked for a myriad of reasons, and just never coming back at the end of games was, chief amongst them. Also being down instantly in the first or second inning. Every start became a David Peterson start by like mid-August last year, moving on. So it's definitely been a lot more fun. Speaking of fun, the place, everything. We have Masters time, and if you're going to get at Augusta, you got to use our friends at DraftKings. The place. Everything can turn in a moment in Augusta. One swing, one hole, and the entire leaderboard shifts. That's what makes this week perfect for live betting. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top sportsbook for live betting, has action from the first tee shot to the final putt, so you can react in real time as the pressure builds and the board keeps moving. And now you can take it even further with DraftKings same game parlay feature. You can combine finishing positions with same round player props, all in one bet. More ways to build your card, more ways to play the moments that matter. New sportsbook customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BELIEVE. That's code BELIEVE to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. I'm not a big golf guy, infamously, but I'm always down for the Masters. It's the pageantry. It's all the stuff about opening day I love about the Masters. And you want to talk about like baseball being a nice thing to throw on in the background. Masters is the epitome of that. I've already planned my Sunday nap around it. I cannot wait. I bet some guy named Xander so I could do this every time. That's kind of just how I bet golf. So check out DraftKings Sportsbook if you want to get in on some golf. They have a lot of fun stuff. You don't have to just bet like who's going to win. You have all the different props and everything else there. I guess we could get into, we're already talking numbers with this. We got another number being retired, boys. We're running out. The New York Mets with their.
I think this one's deserving.
So Carlos Beltran, obviously we knew that they were going to retire it. They announced September 19th, Saturday against the Phillies, I believe, is when it's going to be. I heard our boy Evan Roberts talking about this, and I did agree with him on one thing. I think we can all agree. Guy gets in the Hall of Fame, kind of like the meat of his career, a good chunk of it was with your franchise. Probably a good idea to retire it, wearing the hat especially. Doing it in September against the Phillies, which I think if I think Carlos Beltran Phillies, the only team I have worse memories for is the Cardinals with Carlos Beltran. But it's basically Beltran was just on those teams that, watched the Phillies pass him in the standings, when push came to shove. But other than that, I think deserved. I think it just comes back to me. It's like the Willie Mays one just made no sense at the time. And I still don't think it makes sense. And I'll die on that hill if I have to by myself. I just never thought that was made a ton of sense. But Carlos Beltran, Phil was probably a baby when Beltran was, playing center field, at least in the beginning of his career with the Mets. But us three, we remember the signing. That was like oh fuck, the Mets are here to play moment. I remember the Yankees wanted him. I think he wanted the Yankees, and the Yankees didn't want him as much. It sounded like he went back last minute, and they said, no, we're good. I remember they announced Randy Johnson the same day as Beltran. Those were the two press conferences. And I'll tell you, Carlos Beltran worked out in New York a hell of a lot better.
Pretty well. Bro, for the people who lived that era, I call it the Mets blog era. The Omar Minaya, Matt Cerrone Mets blog era, where I was checking that website, that blog every day, and every day we were making moves. It was like it was Beltran, it was Delgado, it was Cliff Floyd, like there were Mike Jacobs trades, like all these names that come back. I mean, they were wheeling and dealing and built a team that should have fucking won a World Series. To me, that will be. It's like the Indians in 97, the Mets in 06. There's a lot of teams through a lot of sports that should have won, and they are absolutely one of them. So I think when you think of like a Mets era, and there's a really important guy from that, like I'm okay with the retirement there. I think he deserves it.
I was just looking at possible weekends they could have did Carlos Beltran retirement for. August 1st versus the Marlins definitely would not have been a good one to do because that's probably a worse memory.
Yeah, but I also I just don't like. If let's say you're like in a pennant race down the stretch against the Phillies or something,
you don't need the extra bells and whistles.
I remember the 08 162 with Mathia when we shut down Shea Stadium, and it was like, fans, stick around for the ceremony, and it was like, we're gonna go jump in front of the 7 train right now, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's just too much that could go wrong, but
yeah.
So August 1st against the Marlins. Obviously, we have the 19th.
They could do August 15th versus the Nats, but maybe that.
Any of these are fine. Like just
August 29th versus the Astros, maybe not because of the whole cheating scandal.
Yeah, that could have been a problem. That got him fired.
Maybe they want to remember
that.
Was
our manager, guys.
Well,
let's remember that.
Like, this should all kind of be happening in conjunction with like he's the manager he's a part of the franchise still. Yeah. And what a weird butterfly effect on that one, like a variant, this is like a alternate timeline where he could have just he could have been our manager this whole time if things worked out.
He hasn't done any manager interviews since that. It's like
I know
he's managing the fucking Tigers, nothing happened. Alex Cora's managing the Red Sox, nothing happened.
He was going to be the first from his country, and then he gets fired, and then Luis Rojas replaces him and becomes the first from the same country. No, am I wrong on that? I think that's exactly what the storyline was.
And he was young enough that if things went well, Carlos
Beltran
for 30 years. For 25. Yeah.
It's
just like the no player being suspended, Alex Cora getting fired only to get another job immediately back a year later, and he was the only guy who got screwed over. Who was a bench player? He was a role player the entire season.
Right, and it sucks because that he wants to come out. He's kind of said things like this, but he wants to come out and be like, he was doing it. We all like, why is it just me? But he can't really do that.
By the way, the bar for the Hall of Fame is that you have to have integrity and not cheat and all this, that, and the other. So he's worthy of the Hall, but he can't be the Mets manager. That is the most Wilponian thing that will ever be as the send-off for them. I won't have any other thought of them on their send-off. You fired the manager that Steve Cohen bought the team for. Yeah. It was already purchased. He just didn't take control yet. And then that's when he accelerated it, I think. He was like, no, fuck this. I'm not letting this asshole run the team for a year. Do you remember that was supposed to be part of the clause too?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. Hey, yeah. You can have my money and you get to run the team.
No, it was a 5-year window, actually.
That's insane.
It was a 5-year window. Will have to run with his money.
You know what? That might be the best thing Beltran's ever done for us, getting fired.
Yeah, honestly. Never forget Wall Street Clem breaking the news of that. Will he, won't he, buy it, not buy it? That was one of the biggest Barstool scoops ever, Clem.
That was incredible, and I'll never forget to this day. I called you, and it was like a call out of the blue. I didn't even tell you, and I was like, "Dude, what's the worst thing that can happen?" At this point, we have families. You're like, "Oh my God, what's up?" I was like, "Steve Cohen is not buying the Mets." I'm sorry, dude. I shouldn't have prefaced it like that. I'm thinking the worst of the worst, and it's like, no, we were stuck with the Wilpons, and I have it from good sources again that Steve Cohen was not happy that they fired Beltran. Steve Cohen liked Beltran a lot, and I think the reason why Beltran wants the Mets hat and is really embracing all of this, and obviously works for the team, is because I think Cohen has opened his arms to him, and I think Beltran said himself, he's like, if the Wilpons are still in charge, there's no fucking way. I hated the Mets basically because of those guys.
Didn't he? He was one recently who had comments. Who wasn't it him?
Yes.
He was Steve and Alex are the best owners in all of sports. Mm-hmm. They're incredible.
By the way, if you don't think he's angling for
I know,
a job in a year or two,
but I think it could be true as well. But why not? So bring him back. I don't know, make him bench coach or work him in. And when Mendoza inevitably these moves stop working, slide him in.
Make him a third base coach. We need a new one already.
right.
Yeah, Mendoza's gonna be sleeping in his glasses once Beltran got hired as bench manager because he knows that the shark is in the water now. Because that is I gun to head, I'd say Beltran will be a manager in the next, be our manager in the next 10 years. Like I think it's a lot.
You know what? That's probably why, by the way, he hasn't been any other talk. I think he's like, I'll coach the Mets in 5 years.
And why wouldn't you want to just hold out for the Mets job if it's your old team? It's the owner. Like if you're the manager, you gotta like the owner that you're working for. And let's be honest, how many of those guys are just the bare minimum to make the floor, right? There's probably only like 5 or 6 jobs of guys that will actually spend. And plus the Cohens love you. You love the Cohens. Your fucking numbers are tired here. So
that's baller too. You become the manager and then you get to wear your number that's in the rafters.
Yeah.
This is about as good an ending as I think we could have asked for Carlos Beltran with the Mets. That didn't result in a World Series win, didn't even result in a World Series appearance here. Fucking obviously the Adam Wainwright. Once that Adam Wainwright curveball buckled, this is about as good a run as he could have had for like the franchise without, obviously, he didn't even make the playoffs again here. So good for him. I do think like I could live with the Gary Carter number. What other numbers are like in the realm right now? I think DeGrom, when that comes way down the road. Is there anyone else? Like, I think we need.
I guess Alonso, just because the home run record, but like Soto's gonna crush.
Yeah, but he's gonna pass that. I don't know about Alonso. I don't think you have to do that.
Retired players. Is there anyone retired that you think, other than maybe Gary Carter? Because Gary, I think, wanted the Mets logo on the hat. That was another thing.
DeGrom's the only one, just because 2 Cy Young awards, like his peak. Yes. Like there is a chance. Also, he could go into the Hall of Fame with a Mets hat.
That's true.
People forget should have been a 3-peat. He lost to Trevor Bauer on that Mickey Mouse year. Shout out Long Island Ducks.
And if you get 3,
Long Island Duck, great. Bauer. You brought up Pete Alonso, and I this kind of went through my head. Who do you think will have a higher award this year, Pete Alonso or Mark Vientos? We haven't talked about the Vientos Renaissance since it started out in the road trip.
Forget about Swaggy's bat, Swaggy's glove. Like he can play the field all of a sudden. I would, if Senga and Vientos are good, it changes like everything in my mind. And I mean, Swaggy feels like he's back. I mean, obviously, you got to do it over a period of time, but those two guys, if they can contribute in a real way, I thought of that as like that's completely like extra. That's icing on the cake if that happens, and it's happening. Early on,
just ditched the whole Jorge Polanco at first base thing. One, because of the Achilles tendonitis, but also it's like Vientos and Beatty have looked like perfectly fine when
they're fine there. Yeah.
The throws the first base have been good.
Right.
The Polanco thing, though, it's like that was the other part of Pete's game, that he was always available. He was always playing. So it's like as people are going down, Juan Soto had the most home runs on the team last year. Like you're looking for that power somewhere, and you don't know if you're going to get it. And then out of nowhere comes Vientos hitting bombs. It's like I almost don't want to believe in him, though, because every time we don't, he proves
that's when he proves it.
So it's like don't give him any accolades. Just let him sit in the corner with JD Martinez stroking his ego and like move on from there.
Well, what if he's an every other year guy? It's like 2024 good, 2025 bad, 2026 good, then maybe we sell high after the year.
Yeah. Giants on the even years back then.
Yeah.
Let's start playing accordingly then. Let's go.
And listen, he's had to make some plays at first, on throws from the infield and just, grounders or whatever. And like he had the drop yesterday, and then he made the other drop and he had fun with the crowd afterwards. Like it's like, all right. So
it's also like so windy too. It's like
it's tough.
You can give somewhat of a pass.
It's definitely tough. I
love the pump up. Like I think more players need to embrace like, I fucked up and you gave me the business, but then I did it. Like, let's make this more fun than more toxic. It's like you can either like complain about it, talk to the media, your family's upset,
boo them, right? We've had that.
Or you can just be like, this is how it goes, man.
Yeah, and then when stuff does happen, they're like, this is one of our guys. All you got to do to these fucking people, and I'm a fan too, is just like you wave to them, and it's like, oh my god, he's my favorite player ever. We are fucking little schoolgirls about this stuff.
Wave to them and say fuck. If you curse, you're the man. Everyone thinks you're cool.
So that was my next question. I heard someone bring this up in the offseason. Is LFGM still a thing? Because that was Pete's creation. I am now just an LGM guy personally.
It's retired.
Okay. I know Pete started that, but I just thought of that as like a team thing. But if we want to say that was Pete era and that's gone, okay.
And if people wanted to keep the F. But like OMG, that was a time. And once he left, so it's like LFGM. That was a Pete thing. We've moved on. And LGM was always a great fucking. That was one of the first hashtags I saw where the little logo would pop up. I was like, oh my god, we're living in the future right now. So yeah, shout out Swaggy V. I remember when it was during the 24 playoffs and before Pete had, redeemed himself and we were ready to drive him out of town. And the big thing was, where are you going to get those 30 plus home runs from? And it's funny because Vientos could be that guy. And whether you say it's 25, this is the other thing we weren't countering with. Juan Soto is going to be the guy that gets those. And now we have them. And then hopefully Vientos is hitting 25 plus. He looks good so far. I guess we could bring up another guy who's been struggling. Benj, you heard this about Vientos? Benj has had some, he's had some like not great at bats for sure. He's also had some just blatant robberies and the wind knocked one down that I thought was going to the fucking Coca-Cola porch. So I'm patient with Benj. It's just when you, like they say, you have bingo numbers in your average and you're saying 085, you're just like, oh man, that doesn't.
Just let him play through it. It's April. It's like there's also like nobody chasing it down in AAA that's like lighting the world on fire. I'd rather see Carson Bench figure it out than like what MJ Melendez come up or something.
Yeah,
but you do run the risk of like if it depends on how long it lasts. If you're batting something like a couple months into the season,
then last like 2 months, and then you'll figure it back out again in the minors.
Yeah.
I think Jared Young performing right now might cause him like some sort of discomfort of like, I might just lose my job and like this was the chance.
I think you need a little bit of that though. If you're totally like, whether I play or don't play, I have my spot,
By the way, Tyrone Taylor, like every time they plug him in too, he looks great. So that's the guy who's supposed to be our center fielder like full time before we got Luis Robert Jr. So there's options if they do want to like give him a spell here or there, or like not screw him over and put him in a pinch spot where it's like a tough position to be in.
If there's a big at bat late in the game, late and close, there's probably 5 guys max that I trust more than Tyrone Taylor to just put a good at bat.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I understand how ridiculous that sounds.
By the way. That's kind of a
problem. Yeah, that might be a problem. But again, he was the guy who was on base for that, Braves comeback in game 161. And big game Tyrone is like a thing that I said as a joke, but I keep quote retweeting that tweet. And it's crazy for a guy that can't hit his way out of the paper bag 90% of the time. He fucking comes through that 10% and it's vividly in my brain. And like Benj too, like he has other tools other than hitting. And it's like having that in the outfield, which like if he was playing like Brandon Nimmo out there, I'd probably be like, yeah, maybe he could go for the minor leagues from seasoning. But like he has an arm that they have to respect. They did it yesterday during the game, and he can, he has some speed. I think he has like 4 steals already too. So he's a toolsy guy. It's just he's so new, we don't really know that, and you just see him striking out all the time. So shout out Carson Bench. Hopefully he bounces back.
So you brought up Nimmo. Nimmo's like the only former Met that's actually like doing well like so far. Like Pete's OPS is in the 500s. McNeil, I guess, is like up to the 600s, but like we're not like crying about Jeff McNeil. So
is this legit, Phil? I didn't know we could have this as a person.
Yeah, I think that is true because Pete his OPS is in the 500s.
So Vientos is a 0.6 WAR in 8 games, and Alonso is a 0.1 WAR. So that could be our little like race for the season here, because I don't think Mark Vientos is winning a Gold Glove. I also did see that Pete Alonso, this is what it's like having Pete Alonso the first, and it was just some face planting in the first, and I was like, oh, I forgot about those things. He's our polar bear, but polar bears can get a little clumsy sometimes.
I mean, we're like 10, 11 games in. Marcus Semien has a higher slugging percentage than Pete, which
he ran the risk too of like he was the opposite of a change of scenery guy. What he needed was to just like keep doing what you do with the people who love you. He was like, I want to break up with my girlfriend and see what else is out there, and you better be confident when you do that. Otherwise, you probably should have just stayed with your girlfriend.
You have that slow start in New York with your team. Like, I'll give you some slack just because you're a homegrown guy. Orioles fans aren't giving you any slack for starting out slow. So you got to earn that.
Fucking trash, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, immediately Chris Davis, them calling him that. It's like you never want to hear that name when it's you.
Yep.
That was one thing I thought was working against Pete. I'm like, Pete, they have a guy that they hate
that is you will be the prototype for their hate.
You want to start him. Yeah.
Like older Mets fans would have been like Dave Kingman, but like all those fans aren't even on the internet to complain. Like they're on Facebook maybe, but like for him and like he's the right-handed Chris Davis. It does feel a little on the nose. We'll see. I think Pete's going to obviously heat up, especially as the ballparks do.
It's so cold. The ball
like, would you say, Phil?
Like, no one's in home runs in this cold weather.
Yeah.
Like the Mets only have Francisco Alvarez is the only one on the team with multiple home runs.
Jesus Christ. That's baseball in fucking April, man. It's early April at that. Is there anything, we did it last week, give your flowers. Is there any player or anything you wanted to give your flowers to?
Devin Williams, man. I like Devin Williams a lot. I really like him. I like the physical way he pitches. Like the airbender changeup is an enjoyable watch. Kind of just 2 pitches, gets the job done. He's very calming. Like, which is kind of new for us. Like, because even our good closers, literally our good closers, are our worst closers. Like, it's Benitez, it's K-Rod, it's Billy Wagner, it's even Diaz. And even when the couple batters make base, I don't know, it just feels more. Maybe because he's not a power pitcher, really. It's not like overthrows and shit like that. But I really I'm enjoying him, and if he is going to be this good, and it's like I don't want to give Stearns credit because they basically have come out and said, like, we didn't think Diaz was going to leave. So it's kind of like you don't get credit for that. But if this is the replacement and it works, sounds good to me. What him and Nolan McLean. No, the things that Nolan McLean could do with the baseball. Yeah. I mean, he is going to keep pitching ninja on the internet for the next 10 years with the movement he has, overlays and the inches of break. So watching those two guys pitch has been as just a baseball fan. It's awesome.
Speaking of McLean, tonight's the rematch of the World Baseball Classic final. It's McLean versus Eduardo Rodriguez. So I said I'd rather win this game than the World Baseball Classic final.
Absolutely.
Clemmer might disagree, but
I was gonna say like the airbender pitch is just so fucking awesome to watch now that it's on our side, and it's missing bats right now. Well, hopefully it does that in the bigger games. I know that
the whole bullpen's been really good outside of Dickie Lovelady. It's really just one guy.
And even Dickie Lovelady, like I think the bullpen's a product of Dickie Lovelady because he is eating the innings in games where it's like I really don't want to use a big gun. And again, would they win the game where they're losing 2-0 if Dickie Lovelady doesn't, give a couple runs up? Maybe not. But it's like they didn't have to use those arms, and then they could stay fresh for the next game when they do just go lights out on them. So yeah, Weaver's been good. Williams has been good. I mean, remember
Really's been like money since coming back, like last year.
Yeah. So AJ Minter waiting in the wings. Do we have any update on him?
I have no idea.
No,
I mean, I was expecting like mid-May, but
I feel like I'll never see Minter.
When Lovelady gets sent down, that's your thing. When Minter is coming. By the way, the airbender, this got me thinking. We need more nicknames for just sick pitches. And like McLean is like 7 of them. He could just be the wiffle ball. But like Lord Charles for, I know more people had it than just Doc, but I know Doc, they said it a lot.
We got the Ghost Fork. We got the airbender. We got a couple.
Yeah.
Dude, Peterson has the meatball.
I wanted to give my flowers. I meant to do this last week because it was newer, but whatever. It's still there. I fucking just love ABS. I loved it from day one, and it has not let me down. I'm now yelling at our guys to challenge. Like, tap the head, tap the head.
I've been meaning to say this. The baseball version of being the hockey fan who yells, shoot, is the guy who calls for ABS on every pitch. Yeah. There was that dude I don't remember which series it was. He looked like Artie Lang. I think it was the Lou Bob game. Every pitch that was even remotely borderline. He's drinking his beer. I mean, it's every time. It's crazy. It's also like the only thing I don't like about it is it's like just do it. Just do it full time. Get rid of these guys. We know it's coming. Just fucking do it.
Do you think they're gonna do it?
Yes.
I've heard people say in the minors it really does suck. It takes a lot of the just like
really
human. Yeah, they say I think it was in the minors. Phil could correct me if I'm wrong or if any of you guys know it, but I'm pretty sure I saw someone say like I've watched this in the minors. It like loses its soul. It's hard to explain.
And I'm like, all right. People being like AI is gonna ruin the world. It's like there's this one generation that's going to hate this, and then the rest of humanity for the rest of time will be like, yeah, that's.
I like the element of being able to alter the game because of someone else's call. Like football, they could review every play if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
But they don't. Like I like that about it. And I think like Alvarez becomes like a huge asset if he's able to command the strike zone the way that he has to call the pitches. If you have a catcher who kind of sucks, not only at framing now you suck at being able to figure out where the ball is going.
Well, that's the problem. Alvarez is good at framing. He sucks at ABS.
Yeah.
He is not good at catching right now.
Did you see Susan Waldman talking about who was it? One of the Yankees challenged ABS. It's Jack.
Yes.
And she was like, he is not good at this. Like, that's going to be a talent. The people who can, and it's probably going to be like, Juan Soto's of the world. Like, if he says it, it's a strike. So, there's going to be good and bad ABS just like anything else.
What they have in Arizona Fall League is they have where you can check swing challenge where they show it on the screen, but I think that's a little too much.
Yeah, my only beef with ABS is like it's the same thing as when you review someone sliding on a base and they come off like 1 millimeter.
Yeah,
and it's like, and there's no answer to it because I would like to say something like my thought is almost like the outside of the ball needs to be like in the box, but then you start to say
if you're willing to burn a challenge for that little millimeter hit the zone, like that's a huge risk to run because you can only be wrong twice. Because what happens if you get fucked later in the game where someone's calling a strike 3 at your fucking ankles? Then you're shit out of luck, and that's happened multiple times to your team.
These examples of someone doing it like over and over and over again, and I know the fans love that. And when it's like CB Buckner, it's like fuck you. But for other umpires, when it's like you call me out like 3 pitches in a row, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're a clown," and it's like 1/8 of a millimeter. I don't know. I don't think that's like the big flex you think it is, but whatever.
I think CB Buckner is going to commit seppuku on the field if they continue to bully him.
Insane that some of those guys, the usual names. Rest in peace, Joe West and CB Buckner and Angel Hernandez. Like, you have to see the writing on the wall and retire before this shit starts. You had a career, you're good, you're done. Don't get exposed by this new technology that you're, old dog, new tricks. Get out of there.
He's so in his head that he called the runner out at first base, not even behind the plate, and he can't even get the call right. He doesn't trust his eyes.
That was crazy.
Kevin, I want to correct you. Joe West is alive, not R.I.P. Joe
I was going to
West.
say, oh, damn.
No. Who's the? There's one of those guys. It's not Joe West. There's one of those like
Angel Hernandez. Is Angel Hernandez still kicking?
Angel Hernandez is still with us. He's just not.
Just like the guy we grew up with who's dead.
I mean,
is it the one who messed up the perfect game for Galarraga?
I think Jim Joyce is still alive. I could be wrong.
There's
Just
one of them. Did I make it up?
I think you may be making it up.
Cowboy Joe West is thriving. Isn't he like a fucking
He's 73
singer now?
Did he just retire? Maybe
Joe West is retired. Yeah.
Maybe I remember doing like a send off. I thought he was dead.
Because like he said to me. Yeah.
The moment ABS was like cleared to like start in the minors, he's like, I'm out. I don't even want to become CB Buckner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Those guys,
those guys should have been
fired. Get out of here.
Let's call it what it is. Like these NFL refs who suck should be fired as well and get good refs in. It's a job I would never in a million years want. But like I have a buddy who just got into baseball. He's like, dude, this ABS stuff, I don't know much. I like it. I'm like, listen, man, I know you're new to the game. I watched like the Mets had like 3 of the worst umpiring performances in a row last year. It's maddening when you just see a guy who just calls it however he wants and they're calling at the guy's ankles. They're calling strikes. Like you just can't play like that. It's just, you are not the fucking game. You are not the rule book. You're the umpire who can interpret it, but that's bullshit. And I love it.
For the longest time, we were like, oh, these umpires should be held accountable. This is how we're holding them accountable. You have 2 strikes to use on the umpires. Like, I think it's perfect the way it is. I have no issue with it.
And what's the worst? I mean, obviously, I don't know if at the end of the day they do a review. Public shame. Like, that is one way. And the fans are fucking, riding your ass. Good. You should get,
Who was the ump who, when he was like, the batter is challenging the call, and he was like, please be a strike.
Yeah.
That was in spring training. Yeah.
A lot of that going on where you're like, you tried to get me and I got you. And like, it's a little cat and mouse game. I think it's probably very fun, or not fun for umpires, but fun for everybody else.
It's been interesting that there hasn't been a single glitch. Like, what's going to happen, like the pandemonium, if it's broken for a game and then there is no review or something? Because that's like sophisticated, like Air Force radar to make that 3-dimensional box and to be able to get that call in 3 seconds. The second that goes down, now everybody's like, I don't know about this. This is going to fuck up the game. But
because there's times you can't challenge because like the phones like aren't working or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's going to happen at some point.
It has to.
That'll probably happen against us. When
I was going to say, yeah, we'll be the first
Oh,
to
God. Frank that'll fall back on his rant no matter what for the rest of his life.
Is there any anti-guys that we've established for this week other than David Peterson?
Oh, I want to take as an anti-Simeon guy. As soon as I said that, he had a couple good games, some big base knocks, put the ball in play. So I almost want to have an anti-guy to maybe inspire him, but I don't really have anybody right now other than David Peterson's an anti-guy.
It's just Peterson right now.
Yeah.
Good
The thing about Simeon that makes me feel good is at least he's in shape. Because he has the stance. It's the Kim Kardashian champagne stance.
Yeah.
This guy is really fucking ripped right here. Like, good Lord. So that's something you don't know when you don't follow Marcus Simeon on a daily basis, is how he looks when he bats. So that boy is in shape for sure. So at least he's trying. Like, he didn't just be like, I'm going to New York, I'm just going to get fat and not give a fuck. Like, he's still grinding, maybe going for that last contract. My anti-guy, I didn't mention this last week, and this is very niche. I don't think Kevin probably has encountered this. I don't know about Phil. I know my guy Kyle, though, who streams SNY. Eric Burns car shield commercial.
Oh.
So it's early in the season, and on SNY on streaming, I think their ad catalog is very small because they haven't sold all the ads yet. So they just rerun the same ads constantly if they only have, say, 2 ads, which I'm pretty sure last week they had 2 ads. They had the Eric Burns car shield commercial,
and
they had Craig Carton show.
Yes.
And they played those commercials every single break about 3 times. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting there's like 2 or 3 Carton commercials and then one of the car shield commercial on fucking loop. So I got Eric Burns yelling at me, Ric Flair saying woo, Craig Carton making some bad joke, back to Eric Burns, back to Craig Carton.
Is this your first year on the SNY streaming?
What?
Is this your first season on the SNY?
No, I did it last year. It happened last year too.
Okay. The Panda Express Grandma commercial that just would run back to back to back to back until they got back to the game singing that song. That will absolutely be the top tier. But if they continue to run this one, it's like a fever dream when they cut to Ric Flair like dead in the booth.
And he just goes, woo, because he's clearly filmed it for a different time for all car shield commercials, essentially. I did see they've added a Hojo car shield commercial. So now we've added Hojo to the mix, which is much easier to take as a Mets fan and just as someone that, like, Eric Burns could be a nice guy, could be the worst guy. I don't know which way he leans, but I'm just going to say I'm happy Hojo is there. He's much more subtle in his commercial.
But have you eaten yet commercial, though? I felt like I was a prisoner in Guantanamo Bay.
Yes.
It was we just blew a game. I'm pissed off in between innings, and I got to listen to these ladies sing for the next 3 minutes straight.
It's the fucking pit. So I almost thought about, like, reinstalling cable in my house just to get rid of these fucking commercials. That's kind of the Kev. What do you have cable? You have like
no? I'm like always a good like 2-3 pitches behind you guys. I can't really live tweet or even like text anymore. I'm on I don't know, just Verizon Fios like internet streaming.
Gotcha.
So I use I think I watched through Hulu. Yeah. I have like a Hulu package. And it's pretty decently far behind. It's pretty annoying.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And Phil, how about you? What Phil's
I'm on Fios.
Yeah, you got that good.
Feed.
Yeah.
I paid a cable bill, so it's what it is.
That is. But the cable is the furthest ahead, right? Like you're getting it.
Cable is like real time. Yeah.
They're hardlined like into the stadium.
Yeah.
So. All right, so that's all I got from my end. Anyone else have anything they have to vent, let off their chest? I mean, I feel like we're feeling not as bad as last week, that's for sure. No. Not as good as before opening day because nothing is. But we're starting to it's like the players, like you're a little sore.
Baseball season, like it's gonna be ups and downs of a baseball season.
It's gonna be 82 next week. It'll start heating up. The bats will get hot. Like that's where you get
on the road
spot where it feels like baseball.
Yeah.
I just before we go, I just want to extend, my condolences and thoughts and prayers to the West family. We miss you, Joe. And between that and Pedro Feliciano, I gotta brush up on who's alive and who's dead. But other than that, I guess you gotta believe.
Gotta believe.